Good afternoon, coming to you live with a GOAF tech tip on trolling mag lips for trout. I troll a lot of mag lips for trout, and I've learned a couple things I think I could share with others that might be helpful. And if you have some tips on trolling or other techniques that you use for getting trout, whether it be mag lips or any other technique, be sure and let us know and show us what you're doing. So today we're going to talk about how we set up our rods. First of all, I'm using the Okuma Kokanee Black rod. This is a 9'2" edition with a Daiwa Lexi 100 reel line counter, and this combination has just proven time and time again to be super great for trolling. Everybody that's used them winds up buying them, so they must be working pretty well. Then what I do is you want to make sure that you run a bead on your line first before you put your snap swivel on. And the purpose of that is so that you don't inadvertently reel your snap swivel up into your guide at the end of your pole and damage your guide. So that bead there is kind of to protect your guide. And I've run various colors, you know, fluorescent beads, glow-in-the-dark beads, clear beads. And I really haven't noticed a difference as far as the bite goes with what color bead you use. You just need to get a bead there to protect that guide at the end of your pole. So then, now that we've got the snap swivel tied at the end of our main line, we can easily change out lures. So we'll talk about the typical lures that we troll for mag lips. This is a Yakima bait, and this would be your 2.5 mag lip. This one happens to be the Rusty Crawdad pattern, which is a very, very successful pattern. This is a 3-inch, a 3.0 mag lip, and you'll notice right away the difference is the 2.5, other than being a 1/2 inch shorter, only has a single hook configuration. And then of course from there on up, they work up to the 3.5s. And this one happens to be a 3-inch streetwalker we just landed a trout on. This is a 3.5 Misty River. All three of these are very popular colors in all the sizes, and mag lips go on up to I think 5.5 in size. So the one thing you want to pay attention to is the mag lip comes with a dual snap swivel on the lure itself. Leave that on there, don't take it off. You want to make sure that you're running a dual swivel configuration on the front of that lure. One, it makes it easy to change lures for different depths or different colors or different lure altogether. Two is when you've got a double swivel setup on the front, it allows that lure to twist 360 degrees so that when you do get a trout on, he's not likely to put that swivel in a bind and pry the hooks out. So it's pretty important, and it gives that lure total freedom of movement to do its skip beat action. So then the next thing that we always do is we throw on a little bit of the Procure Trophy Trout. We just put a little dab on the tail. It doesn't take much, just a very small dab. And this will last you a long time if you don't overuse it. Their sense of smell is tremendous, so you don't have to overuse it. But I want to make sure that we're covering, at the very least, I'm buttering around the butt of the lure, the end of the lure, because that's where I'd like them to strike it. I have seen people butter the entire lure, but I want to be careful that I don't get it so thick on there that I interfere or take the possibility of interfering with any UV that's happening in that coating on that lure itself. So essentially there's your setup, and you control these. Manufacturer I think says anywhere from 0.6 miles per hour up to 3 or 4 miles per hour. But I have found the sweet spot, at least in my boat on the waters I fish, to be between 1.6 and 1.8 miles per hour. Now that's going to vary depending on what section or body of water you're on, what the current is, if there is any, speed of the wind, all kinds of variables that come into play there. So what I like to do is I want to make sure that we're ready to troll this lure. First of all, I'm going to reel up. I'm never going to reel to my swivel. I'm not going to reel all the way up. I'm going to reset my line counter. And then I'm going to drop that lure into the water and get it swimming. Now the first thing you're going to do is you're going to check those hooks to make sure none of the hooks are fouled and that it's swimming properly. At that point, when you've got it underneath the water swimming, you want to look at your fish finder and see what speed your fish finder tells you you're going. Right now, this one says I'm going 2.3, so that's a little bit fast. Slowed her down. We're dropping below 2 miles an hour. And now you can see the action of the lure and judge for yourself what action you prefer. I prefer 1.6 to 1.8, but maybe for you it might be different. But troll it beside your boat to determine. Don't take what I say for granted, because different conditions will vary what speed you want to troll it. But I found 1.6 to 1.8. So there you go. Now you can slowly start letting your line out, and you want to make sure that you get enough setback behind the boat. I typically go no less than 70 feet. And then we'll vary. We're running 4 rods today, so we're going to vary anywhere between 70 feet and 105 or 110 feet at our longest setback. And by having the varied setbacks on the rods, it allows you to troll and make your turns without, getting them all wound up. So that's your tech tip for today for trolling mag lips. Thanks a lot.